Ah, what a pleasant surprise. I was wondering when you'd grace us with your presence. The honor is mine. Right to business, are we? Very formal. But so be it. You caused quite a stir with that little scuffle of yours. I can't exactly say the old fool didn't have it coming, but most of us have become used to Harkon's ravings. Indeed, we are. From what I hear, you didn't exactly know the man for long, but considering how deep his hatred for Valerica went, well, it should come as no surprise that many of us had drawn his ire over the centuries, whether intentionally or not. Fortunately, when you managed to splatter him over the wall there, it caused a notable shift in the order of things. Well, aside from being rather discourteous were you to do so, I believe that my fellow kindred and I will prove quite the asset. Quite the asset indeed. But I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I greet thee, ruler of Volkihar. I am Yashim. Yes. While I wish to greet you personally, I see the others have already made themselves at home, so to speak. You can find Lilith in Palace around here somewhere, or Roa if she hasn't wandered into the sea already. The girl did always have her head in the clouds. Be that as it may, I will impress upon them the need to greet you personally. Ah, yes. About that. Garen has been rather indisposed, and, by the look of it, will remain so. Indefinitely. An unfortunate disagreement, my liege. I did impress upon him the urgency of our arrival, and the need to speak with you at the earliest convenience, but, well, let us just say that time hasn't been kind to his temper. A rather unfortunate way to go, but such is the way of things, yes? Well, I wouldn't put it that way. More that Garen had inadvertently made his own fate. A pity it had to get rather messy. If I may, since the voice of the clan has been recently vacated, it would be an honor to fill Marethi's role for you. There are a great many things that demand your attention, and I would be willing to assist you in such matters. Speaking of which, you may notice our rather tense friend over there, an envoy from Clan Drelk to the south, but I will leave you to speak with her. A word of caution, however, Drelk are not known for their patience. Again, an honor to meet you, my liege.
So you're the new head of the clan, huh? Don't look like much to me. Well, well, you might have a bit of spine to you after all. About time someone stepped up and silenced that prophecy of his. Do us all a favor and throw that bow he wanted into the sea. No good was ever going to come from alerting the world over to our presence. And your lot used to condemn us for being rash. The name's Talon. No one else from the clan was interested in coming here, so the responsibility fell to me. Call it whatever you like. Drelk just wants to see what the latest to take the seat of Volkihar is all about. With the formalities, would you? Save the bootlicking for your own brethren. Suppose I'm here to see whether you'll doom us all again. In case you haven't noticed, Harkon wasn't exactly on the best terms with Kindred, even among this very hall. Surprised it took this long for someone to shove a sword through his gullet, but a welcome change, I suppose. That you'd be a fool to try anything with us. I'll cut your damn head off myself if I have to. See? You're getting it. Keep your fangs sharp and you'll be a few centuries old in no time. Me and Drelk, we don't have time for tiptoeing around feelings and all these politics. When blood starts spouting, there's only one way out. To get the lay of the land, what else? Suppose you're better than I was expecting, but that doesn't exactly say much, does it? Look, this act is just as painful for me as it is for you. So enough of the talk, You feel like returning the favor, then come see us at our little hole in the ground, too. Here, so you don't break your neck looking for us. Huh, typical. Word of advice, new blood. You see any threats, you take them down. Immediately. No ifs, no buts, and no hesitation. All these crises nowadays might make feeding easier, but with the amount of clans that have been wiped out the past years, Drelk won't go quietly. I can promise you that.
Now, where was the extractor? I must find some new flesh before it putrefies. Hand over the scalpel, would you? What? Oh, it's you! Apologies for the delay. I wanted to speak with you as soon as possible, but my research... well... these things demand attention, as they are wont to do. Right. Let me start at the beginning, shall I? I am Pallas, Altmer, as you can see, and that is Altmer, by the way. I haven't lived quite that long just yet. Before you ask, no. I have no association with the Dominion, and no, I do not think that the average citizen is a worm or some such. Lacking in intelligence, perhaps. That makes our work all the easier, doesn't it? Yes, I already know. But you have made yourself quite at home already, haven't you? A pity I couldn't secure at least a bit of Harkin's remains. I hypothesized the man had contracted some form of blood sickness, some kind of malady to the spirit. A soul, if you want to argue the details. Is something wrong? Threw me out? Well, that's preposterous. While I did get overzealous in my research of Auriel's bow, he made it quite clear that I wasn't welcome. Just goes to show where effort gets you in life, doesn't it? Speaking of which, though, do you have it with you? The bow! You know, the reason why any of us are here to begin with. Well, most of us. Truly. Oh well, I suppose it's for the best. It already ruined one happy family reunion. Can't imagine the mortals would take kindly to the sun going out. Is that supposed to be a jest? Well, at least it'll make things more interesting than the previous lord. Many things indeed. Unfortunately, I have less than no time at all to describe a single one of them. My area of expertise is in thaumaturgy, hemomancy if you wish to be amateur about it, and unlock the true potential of the blood. Oh yes, a great deal in fact. If you're referring to anything practical, then no, but I've made steady progress in the past few centuries. The Oblivion Crisis proved to be an excellent cover for acquiring test subjects. Alas, Dremora aren't as pliable as mortals. With pleasure. I shall let you know if I turn up anything useful, my liege. Your continued faith is, appreciated.
If loving you was a crime, I'd be guilty as...
Wonderful. I see you both managed to walk out of there in one piece. You wound me, and for the record, I wasn't first to engage with Morethi, but that doesn't matter now. How'd your little parley go, Indeed, whether they prove to be ally or enemy, only time will tell. You've picked the game up quickly, my liege. You shall make a fine ruler, I think. Of course. Surely your time among the mortals hasn't made you completely oblivious. While the dregs huddle in caves and feed on passers-by, we are of decidedly more refined stock. Naturally, we tend to live much, much longer as well. A few well-placed words among the right company can work wonders. Not everything need be solved with a blade. As you wish, my liege. If I may, when you have the time, go and see what Drelk have been up to. They may be quick to anger, but their strength and will are a force to be reckoned with. Harnessing that could be very useful indeed. In the meantime, you may also find our compatriots around the castle. Some will be more agreeable than others, but all remain kindred. But I have talked enough, and I don't wish to keep you any further. Now, let's see if I can get some of that local blood to the castle.
Nice clothes. Doesn't it feel better to be able to move freely and casually?
So, she approaches. I bid thee welcome, sister. Volkihar was a long overdue change in leadership. It is well earned, newest of all lords. Do not doubt yourself, even if your knights may be few in number. You stood before Harkon and survived. For all their prattling, their petty jealousies, no one else could have done the same. Forgive me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? I am Lilith, oldest of all the kindred here, back to a time even before Valeric and Serana took the oath. You seem surprised, but they were not the first to invite darkness to their hall. Indeed, I helped guide the women through what was to come.
Please, stop asking.
Was a long, long time ago. Too long for regrets, one should think. But come, I must ask you something. What do you think of your time since you returned? By one you would ultimately slay, no less. Not at all. While precious few value the traditions that have allowed us to prosper for this long, Harkon was also a madman. I know Serana felt differently, but the girl always had a weakness, letting her heart speak first. The man got what he deserved. But let us not dwell on that. Surely your time as a new head of the clan has not been all bad? Undoubtedly so. If I may, you have come into possession of a great many artifacts, even in your short time among the kindred. The power to use such things may be tempting, but you would be wise to lock them away, lest they destroy you first. Not quite Elder Scrolls, but as centuries slip by, each of us takes a fancy in one area or another. My own happened to be searching through history and ancient tomes. The fact I am still here now shows that caution is not always unwarranted. I deemed it necessary, though an unfortunate result of Harkon's prophecy. Serana and Valerica had chosen their course by then, and Harkon fell deeper into madness. He had already killed a few of our own in his rage. I swore that I would not betray their confidence, and fled far to the north, where I slumbered deep beneath the Sea of Ghosts as the centuries passed. Indeed, I do not begrudge your quest for it. Any boon is worth such effort. All that I ask is that you use it wisely, if at all. That is good to hear. I have no desire for machinations. These games that so many of the younglings like to play. Should you seek guidance, I would be glad to assist you in the many nights to come. Of course. Again, it is an honor to meet thee, Lord. I trust your leadership will bring much to the clan. Farewell.